The Graduate. For those of us afraid to exhale, to stop for long enough to feel the back pain from bowing to books, we lead the young to peer beyond chapter lines, to pages of possible, if we demand an openness of mind to imagine something better together. Keep learning forward. One day you will write the books. I've written a series of poems which I'm calling, they are stone sculptures of survival. So they're a series of poems which are based on Thomas's work. So I picked out some of Thomas's sculptures that really related to my experience of the pandemic. And so I've written short poems, and I think they're written in very much in the style of a poem that has really got me through. It's called Litany of Survival by Audre Lorde. And in that poem, she really strongly talks about speaking and about fear. And I felt like that was a really good way to talk about my experience. So they all start in a similar way to hers, which is for those of us. And I've used that as inspiration. So I've also made a seat, and I've called it Ujuma's Throne. So Ujuma is a Swahili word which means collective work and responsibility. And it's about communities working together and problem solving together. And, with every person in the community really matters. And it's about kind of accepting and honouring our commitment to one another, which I feel is really important in the way that I'm working and the way that we're working in Kwanzaa. And in the pandemic, as well as, seeing things in the arts, we've stopped and we've had the chance to see some of the inequalities really. It's kind of, we've stopped and been able to see some of the horrible things that are happening. I know that I'm not a visual artist, but I think one of the interesting and important things about this pandemic is that we've been experimenting with other art forms, and I've really enjoyed having that kind of playfulness and that thinking in another art form. So there's lots of different kind of elements to this seat. It was very therapeutic to me, actually. It was really great doing the braiding. It has a river of eyes that go around, and it also has kind of like a tree which has been done with friendship bracelet type thing of the different kind of people and cultures that have been weaved together, that have worked, which has been really unusual about this year, that people of all different races and ethnicities working together to kind of face systematic inequality and racism, all of those working together, that feels quite symbolic. So I put that at the centre. And then enslaved Africans, it's known that they used to have, when they were cane wearing their hair, they would have maps. So on the other side, it's got like a map towards freedom, map towards, something different from this. And it's unfinished, it's purposely unfinished because this is an unfinished project, and I don't want people to feel like, oh, 2020 was the year that we fought inequality, it's done now, let's move on to another year and another project. I feel like it's purposely incomplete, so there's lots of strands and bits hanging off of it. This exhibition's gone through so many different stages with so many different focuses. So to finally see it come together has been really exciting, actually, because all the artists have just been given a space to just create what they want to create. And I think that's rare. That's rare to just be say, actually, you create what you want to create. There's no full kind of brief. I'm just going to give you a space of time to create what you want to create and give you the opportunity to do this. It's about, what's the process, what you're feeling, what you're thinking as you're doing it. Putting the emphasis there has been great. But it's also nice to see the finished pieces in place. So we're in the park, just off London Road in Stoke. I think it's really great to have pieces of artwork like this outdoors so that people can experience something out of the everyday and ordinary. They have something that they can interact with, ask questions about. So when I was reading the poems today and they were entitled Stone Sculptures of Survival, I just felt like it felt important, because even in this really terrible, disastrous climate, we're still able to create, we're still being creative, we're still thinking. In the years and months going forward, the seeds that I would plant would be the idea of people working together, of all different races and ethnicities. I want to plant in tomorrow's garden the idea of us really listening to each other, and I also think it's really important for me to get outside and walk, and self-care has been like a really important thing that we've probably all discovered, like nature, walking, taking time, pausing. I feel like that's so important, and a lot of us have discovered what that really means.